Hola. So, today, I'm doing another gun review. I'm doing a gun that I really love. It's one of my favorite guns to have. And that gun would be the Glock 19. Now, I've had this gun for, it's coming up July 4th, it's coming up a year. Yes, I bought this gun July 4th of last year. That's pretty funny, but it's a Glock 19 Gen 4, actually, Gen 4. It's not MOS. I wish it was. I wish I saved my money up to get an MOS version, but what MOS means is that the slide is fitted to take a red dot or some sort of other optic. Now, mine did come with glow-in-the-dark Trigicon. I don't know if Trigicon, but some kind of, can you guys see that? Some kind of glow-in-the-dark lights. And I'll probably demonstrate them here in a little bit. They're pretty good, especially for a self-defense situation. The grip fits me pretty good, especially when a mag's in. It's a lot better when a magazine's in. Now, this is an unloaded firearm. Let me clarify that. The magazine's not even in it at the moment, and there's no bullets in the chamber, but it's 9mm because it's a Glock 19, and it's one of the most universal and most customizable firearms that you could probably find on the market today. What is there really to say about Glock that nobody's already said before? I mean, it's reliable. It's actually pretty cheap. I mean, you could get some Glocks for 400 bucks, and well, they're pretty concealable. The Glock 19 now is the one it's subcompact. It's kind of concealable. Some people still conceal carry it if it's on a winter day, and if they're in a colder area, you could conceal carry this. But they do make Glock 43s. Like, they do make smaller subcompact, I guess you could say, or I don't know, the terms are so weird, but the smaller pistols are actually kind of made for concealed carry. They make like Glock 43, Glock 43X, and I draw 9mm, and like the Glock 23 or something like that. The numbers are kind of weird. I don't really know the numbers, but they do make some more smaller Glocks you probably actually conceal, and they make larger Glocks as well that you could just pack for bear defense. They make the Glock 17, which is 9mm, which is the first Glock. Holds 17 rounds, and it is 9mm, like I said before, and it's got a longer grip and a longer barrel. Now the Glock 19 holds 15 rounds, unlike what I just said, the 17 holds 17 rounds. So it's a little bit smaller, but you're still getting a lot of capacity. They also make Glock long slides, which have a slide which probably comes out to like right here. And a lot of people use them for hunting, like Braden Price uses it for deer hunting, stuff like that, puts a red dot on it. And they're really good, and supposedly Braden Price has killed deers up to 80 yards with it. And they've hit plates with it at 100 yards. So now that is with the red dot fusion irons. Of course, you ain't going to hit 100 yards, but if you use some sort of optic like that, then you're going to hit 100 yards with the long slide version. And that pistol is in 10mm. Forgot to clarify that. That's in 10mm, and that's a pretty popular hunting and bear defense caliber. Another thing that Glock is known for, besides reliability, is the easy takedown. There's two takedown pins, which appear right here and right here. And to do it, I won't show you, but you have to have the slide back about a ½ inch. And while at the same time you hold down both of the takedown pins and you pull the slide forward. That's also, the trigger also has to be pulled. It cannot be open like this. The trigger has to be pulled before you can do that. Not while you're doing it, but before you do it. And you can, that's how you take it off. And that the easy takedown feature is pretty, like, it makes it pretty, like, more easier to clean, I guess you could say. More manageable to clean. But one thing is, a lot of people don't know, a lot of newer gun owners, stuff like that, may keep one in the chamber and they may forget about it, and they may accidentally win themselves a Darwin Award by doing that, by pressing the trigger, and some people actually have. If you remember, you have the gun loaded, and if you check the gun's loaded, don't be stupid about it, then you should be fine. Firearm, that goes for about any kind of firearm, not in the takedown thing, but if you don't act stupid with it, and you should be safe and manageable. You ain't gonna get shot. You ain't gonna accidentally shoot somebody else, and you ain't gonna accidentally shoot yourself. It does got a takedown, not takedown, but a slide holder, or release, like I should say. But you pull back, and you can, you know, have the slide back, and then to let it off, you just press it again, like that. And yeah, if it's also got a bullet in it, or if you ain't got a magazine, you can also just do that and pull back the slide, then you'll also go forward. One thing that a Glock is also known for is a pretty terrible trigger. Now mine's okay. Well, I don't really care about the Glock triggers. Like, I think they're alright, so I'm trying to maybe reword that. They're about 5 pounds, I guess you could say. So they're not like, they're in the middle. They're not a 10-pound trigger, but they're not a 3-pound light trigger. Just right in the middle. One thing Glock is also known for is like this trigger right here. As you can see, there's kind of looks weird. Like there's a trigger in the middle of the main trigger, and that's a safety feature. See this, and it is unloaded. As you can see, it's unloaded. With this, once you pull back on any of the sides, it will not pull the trigger, but you have to hit the main little middle trigger part for it to actually fire. And that's a pretty good safety feature for kids, but you still don't want to have it out like on your counter where a kid could grab it, because they could probably still pull it. There's many cases of that happening. Even though it is a 5-pound trigger, they could probably still do it. Just, you don't even want to take the chance that they could do it or not, is what I should rephrase. Overall, Glocks is just something that everybody, most of the complaints I've heard about Glocks is just how bulky they look. Some say they look ugly. I just think they're alright. I have a buddy of mine, he's not really a Glock guy. I'm not really a Glock guy myself. It's just I want a reliable pistol for a cheap price. Relatively cheap. It's $500, so it's in the middle of being cheap. But I just want a good Glock. All my family members own Glocks, and they're all happy with them, saying they never jam. And if they do jam, it's probably because you're limp wristing it, and that's something to think of. If you're not on the gun right, it will jam. But that's with all handguns, I'm pretty sure. And if you've shot a gun before, you ain't gonna limp wrist it. It cycles through almost every single ammunition, like I said before. But anyways, when we go back to the other story. But he is more of my friend that I speak of, he's more of a Beretta guy, a 1911 guy, and that's okay. But I want the capacity and the reliability of a Glock. And they're not that ugly. They're not a high point. You know, they may not be, I will admit, they may not be as pretty as a 1911, but 1911 don't hold 15 rounds. Unless you have a 2011 that costs probably as much as my car right now. So, yeah. Last thing is, you can change, like I said before, the customizability of a Glock is insane. You can change the trigger, the slide. I can get a new slide and fix the MOS problem easily. I can get a new frame, make it look more Gucci, I guess you could say. Stuff like that. Now, all Glocks come with this rail at the bottom. See here, this one does, if you can see it. And you can put a flashlight or a laser. I plan on putting a flashlight whenever I can afford it, because right now, I probably can't afford it because I keep shooting so much. I keep having to buy ammo. So, I end up not being able to afford a flashlight. It comes with a bunch of grips you can easily put in with this pin right here. See? You take that pin out and you can put a different, it's not really a different grip per se, but it is a grip extender. It's just a little piece of plastic that comes out here. Tried to put one on. I didn't like it. Thought it would. It had a little thing that came out to here, and I thought that would fit my hand better, but I didn't like it. It's just where it's because it ain't actually a grip. It's more just an attachment onto the original grip. It just makes it feel awkward for me. One last thing is the mag release is right here. It does not have both hands ambidextrous controls. So if you're left-handed, you're just gonna suck, I guess. But they probably do now. Some of the newer versions probably do have, I don't really know for sure, but they probably do have left-handed guns. So the mag release is there, and it has a drop-down mag system. I'll show you here. As you can see, it is empty. No bullets. The gun is empty, and you just press the mag release, and it drops. Overall, the Glock 19 is just a good handgun. It has become America's icon of guns, besides the AR-15. Even though the Glock 19, or the Glock in general, is in Austria, made, so a European made gun. But many people kind of associate it with America, just like the AR-15. So it's become America's handgun of choice. It's used by most every single police officers except California, because California wants its police officers to die and makes them use less reliable firearms. But it's used almost by every single police station in the world. They actually make a Glock that's specifically made for policing, which is pretty awesome. And that's what they use. Some use red dots. Police are starting to use red dots more often. That's pretty good. Makes a more precise shot. So red dots and a Glock are a good combination. And if you do get one, I highly recommend getting the MOS version and not just getting a regular version like I did, because I highly regret not getting an MOS version. But that's about it. It's just overall a nice firearm. It's just reliable. And I think if you're a gun owner and you want a gun you can rely on and know you can protect your family or friends or pets or neighbors, whatever with, you should get a Glock. Well, let's go shoot it. Let's see the accuracy test on it. I should have a paper plate somewhere and see the accuracy on it. It's going to be like a 5 yards, but, well, I'll do it at 10, but we'll still see how it does. One thing I forgot to mention is that the Glock also has a little bullet checker right there. You see that? It has a little bullet safety thing, and that was put in place because of California restrictions back when Glock actually cared about that. And, well, it's just never left, so you can see if a bullet is in there by checking that little thing. Another thing I forgot to mention is that Glock is almost in every single modern TV show that has to do with firearms. In those shows, it's mostly depicted as an all-around gun. Everybody uses it. So good guys uses it, bad guys uses it, even people with morally ambiguous decisions. So it's all-around. So in the show, it's depicted as an all-around just workhorse of a firearm, and that's pretty true about real life. So I guess they took inspiration from that. I probably took inspiration about how bad guys mostly use Glocks, and good guys like police officers also. I'm going to use a 3-shot group on this paper plate right there. I'm going to see what we get. That I'm going to be using today too. It's just some PMC, FMJ, 9mm, of course. That's what I'm going to be using. Texas made company. I'll do like their 223. I'm going to see what I can do at this paper plate. That hit me right in the face. I kind of hit a stick, so that was in front of it, so I don't know if that threw off the bullets any. I don't think I hit the paper plate. I believe, like I just feared. Wait a minute. I just not noticed. I did hit it. I hit it once. But it looked like, as I feared, the things threw off my bullets. Unless that's more than one 9mm bullet. And I don't know. It might be 2, but I believe it's just 1. Well, if I pointed at it, that would probably be more helpful. Unless it's 2, which I don't think so. I think I missed it. Also, I'm not the best with iron sights. I'm a scope guy. I'm not trained with iron sights too much. Good. But let me try another 3-shot group, and we'll see what I'm hitting. One thing I want to show you guys is that little bullet safety thing I was talking about. As you can see the bullet right there, and I just put one in there like you see, but you can see the bullet that is in there. Oh, I was trying to catch that one, but I didn't catch it. But you can see the bullet in the chamber. And that was put in place so that when cops, that was California restriction like I said, and that was put in place because cops, they want to make sure when cops pick up a firearm, they could just look at it and know that it wasn't loaded. And I guess And I don't think it worked. Because one thing I don't think they took in consideration is that criminals can just, and it's about California, could just go down to the border and buy like a full automatic AK-47 for like a goat. So yeah, let's go see what we did at the Target. I missed it again. I am hitting this brush, and I think it's throwing off my bullets. So I'm actually gonna stand probably right here and shoot at it. Yeah, I believe I hit it. I think I actually hit to the left of it because I saw the paper moving. Because where I was setting it was at an angle. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. I think I hit it once, maybe twice. I don't know. Might just been where I was at a weird angle and it was going. Just yeah, I believe that's what it was. But it's just right at the weird angle. Makes it right too. I don't know where the other bullets hit. I ain't too skilled with Glock iron sights. So, overall, the Glock 19 is, well, an all-purpose firearm that I highly recommend. That's basically all you can say. It's just the only complaint about a Glock is probably the trigger. And, the other complaint that I don't think is very warranted is, how ugly it is. Because honestly, I think it looks pretty good. It may not be as pretty as a 1911. But it's not as ugly as a High Point. It's just its own beautifulness. So one complaints that I ever heard people talk about it, say it's an extremely reliable firearm, life could depend on it, they just wouldn't pick it because how good it looks. Or because of how bad it looks. And I don't even think it looks that bad, but I see you guys next time. I don't know what else to do. Might do a turkey hunting video. I was going to go turkey hunting yesterday, but I had ACT. And, well, I didn't have time to do it. But it is turkey season, officially. It's officially turkey season. And, well, whenever I have a chance to get out and go turkey hunting, I will. I hear like road construction workers. I'll probably just scare the absolute crap out of them right then by shooting the Glock. I'll see you guys next time. I wonder if my hammock is still wet. We're about to find out. Oh yeah, it's still wet. Funny story, I tried to lay down in it yesterday. And well, it didn't go too good. I fell in it and it well, got my pants wet. I just wish it was dry though, because it's such a amazing feeling to sit down in a hammock on a spring weekend, not worrying about nothing. Anyways, guess this is going in bloopers. You guys can see that.